there came a time that I remember she was looking over something and she drooled a little bit. And I thought, that's a little weird. I guess you get that way when you're older. And then when she would sit, she wouldn't sit straight up like this, but she would be tilted a little bit. So took her to the doctor. They said that she had little strokes. And so from the hospital, they said she couldn't come back home, but that she could go into the nursing care facility, which was right next door to the hospital. So we put her in there, and we went to visit her all the time. And very nice, very comfortable. But every day somebody would go and visit her. I went most of the time. Right after work, I'd go over there and stay with her. And I would take her out in her wheelchair, and we'd go around the building, in the sunlight, get some fresh air. Then she just got more quiet and didn't speak as much, because I tried to get, her to talk. And I asked her, I says, Mom, when you were young, what games did you play? What did you do? She says, oh, we played house, and I was always the teacher. So I knew that she wanted to be a teacher at one point. But when she was playing, when she was young, she would be the teacher, and she would tell people, what to do and teach them things. But I remember that Celia, your dad, Esther, would talk to her on the phone. She wouldn't say much, but it was good that she spoke, and she was happy with that. And her eyes changed. There was more like a glossiness to them. And one night, Joe went to visit her. It was after I had come home, and he went from work, and he went over there to visit her. And her eyes were open. I don't know if she could see him or not, but her eyes were open. And he was talking with her, And after that, her eyes closed. She was still alive, but her eyes closed. And she didn't wake up anymore. And there was no more conversation, but we would talk to her. And I remember the night that she passed away, we had gone up there, Joe and I, and the kids were here in the house, and we were there and we were talking with her. And I know that we left around 9:30 at nighttime. And on our way home, we had just gotten to the house, and the telephone rang, and your mom is going. She's going right now. And at that point, all of us, Lisa, Maria, Ramon, Joe, all of us went up, and we were there. And she had passed, of course, and we wanted to be there when she passed, but it just wasn't meant to be. And it took her to León, Guanajuato, first of all. Family and friends there, her eldest son, Manuel, and his family. She had a vigil there that night. A lot of people came. And then the following day, we transported the body to Zamora, Michoacán. And we took her to the house that she grew up in. And we had the vigil there in that house. And by that time, it was only Uncle Alfonso, Tío Alfonso. That was the only sibling left. Everybody else had died. So we had the vigil there that night, Saturday night. Sunday was Mass. We had a Mass for her. And then right after that was the procession to the cemetery.
I was glad that they were buried where they were buried at, out in where they were born at. let them go back to where they started. I would never change that. I would never want to change it.
We all miss her, and we just was sad. But she wanted to be buried in Mexico. She didn't want to be buried in the United States.
Oh, I think she was very proud. I think she was very proud and happy that everybody, got to do what they wanted to do.
I think she would have been proud of all of us, because we all turned out pretty good.
She was a good woman. She was strong. She was honest. She was faithful.
She was just a good person, a real good person, a gentle person.
I miss her now. I miss her today. I think about her every day. My dad too. She was a good mother. She was an honest mother. She was helpful, creative, and she was really loving for us.
I remember her telling me in particular, she says, always be respectful of others, and they'll be respectful to you, and if they aren't, then you don't associate with them. But be respectful. And that always stayed with me. Be respectful. And I tried to be that.
Every night, she would stand in the living room and provide her blessing to everyone, to all her children. And she would stand in the middle of the living room and do the sign of the cross in all four directions. And she would always say, Lord, I don't know which direction the United States is in, but I'm just covering all corners so all my children are protected.
I have a photo of Ma, Grandma. I always look at Grandma every night and say goodnight to her.